since morning. I don't know why.
Okay, okay. I hope you will be getting better a little at least soon. Okay,
Thank you,
thank you.
Ajahn.
And I hope that everyone here and in Zoom will be very, very excited about how Chulalongkorn University encourage the student to learn how to use the generative AI in their learning process. And today I am going to show you how I incorporate my textbook into the ChatGPT and how can you interact with my textbook through the ChatGPT as well. Is that exciting? Yes, but unfortunately, this feature is only available for those who are the premium user or plus user. For those who don't pay for ChatGPT, maybe you have to reconsider because it is very worthwhile. Only $20 a month, you can participate this good application. Okay, Kun Khan is showing us the how he used the ChatGPT that integrate with my textbook. The first prompt that he put in is the word, let's make a strategy communication plan. And then the ChatGPT show us the structure of the chat and structure of the plan that kind of outline as the textbook said, not the general structure that you might find on the internet or elsewhere, but it gave you specifically structure that I talk about in the textbook. Is that cool? Yeah. So, but anyway, I have to emphasize that there is no specific template for the strategic communication plan. Different company, different consulting agency has got its own templates. But the template that I took come from the Melano, who is the very esteemed professor in this field of study. And his full textbook can be available in our library. And I took his idea and make it shorter, easier to read in the PDF format. And then I upload the PDF format that I make it more concise onto the ChatGPT knowledge base, and I kind of allow the student to also interact with the what you call ChatGPT conversation that I made. Okay, so when you interact with the ChatGPT with this link, it means that you will also interact with the textbook that I provide. So I also provide the link to this chat conversation through on the my course view, so you can come back anytime in this week page and then click on to the link, and then you will land on to that conversations. So let's type some words so that you can see how the chat is going to help you make a plan with the speed of superhuman. Kun Gan, please let me control your screen. Can I do that? Okay, good. So any one of you here have some corporate that in your mind that you would like to write a strategic planning for? Yes? Anyone would like to try? Okay, Pop Mart. Okay, let's I'm not so sure that the ChatGPT know PopMart yet because it's relatively new company. Does PopMart has the name, the corporate name in the stock market yet? Not yet. Just Pop as the business name, and I'm not so sure that we can find the PopMart's annual reports. Do you think that we can get the PopMart annual report anywhere? Annual report? PopMart annual report? No, not yet. So that is going to be a little bit difficult because sometimes the ChatGPT is going to ask you very specific information about the company vision, missions, key issues, and the risks that the corporate is facing. Otherwise, if it doesn't have those information, it will just imagine, and that is not going to be good for you as a student to always imagining things up. Okay, so PopMart might be good for other occasions, but for these occasions, I think we are going to take some corporates that you can find the annual report. Basically, it's the corporate that listed itself on the stock market because it is their requirement. It is the requirement of the stock market for the company to provide annual report, even a quarterly report. Oh, it's already in the stock market. Very good, very good. Please share the name of the corporate in the stock market with me. Okay, we will doing something like this. We can do it together if you like. Okay, what is the name? This is week 3, and you are kind of expecting to start more or less this or next week at the latest, so that you can have around 4 to 5 weeks to complete the first milestone, which is more or less the first graph of the plan. Okay, you are getting there, I think. I am so excited to get the name. Okay, so if you still searching on it, maybe it's also okay that I will share what I got from this ChatGPT when I use the company that is called Alphabet. Okay, I searched the Alphabet annual report in Google, and then have to stop speaking. Okay, otherwise we get looped. Okay, I searched for the Alphabet company on the Google, and then I have to make sure that it is the annual report, not a quarterly report. Otherwise, it's going to be too specific in a time frame, and that is not going to give an overview of the company as good as the annual report does. Okay, and then here it will look like this. Okay, I typed the word what is the first step to take to create a strategic communication plan? And I write this prompt under the strategic communication planner, which sorry, it's covered by the line, sorry. Okay, sorry, thank you very much for raising this up. Okay, I have to make sure that I ask these questions under the chat conversation box like this. What is the first step to take to create a strategic communication plan? And it kind of tells, give us feedbacks like creating a strategic communication plan involves several key steps. The first step is to prepare an executive summary, which provide a brief overview of your final plan. This summary, although listed first, is typically added once the strategic plan is completed. It gives a concise overview of each of the other elements in the plan. Okay, but that is not the first step. Because I am the person who writes the textbook, I know that the first step is the situation analysis, not writing the executive summary. So I said, wrong, you have to select an organization. The first step, you have to select an organization. Oh, yes. So the chat said, okay, the first step is select the organizations. So let's start over again. So, okay, let's select the alphabet. And then, great, to write about a communication plan for the alphabet. The first step to follow is to researching Alphabet Inc. and then identify key issues and then understanding the key publics. These are the contents that I wrote in the textbook. Did you remember? For some, right? Because you have already read about it. So I have got another conversation. This is something that the chat requires before it can actually write. So I have got another conversation. And in this conversation, I have to include the plugin AI PDF, and then I just copy and paste the first request that I got from the ChatGPT in the other conversation. Okay, researching alphabet, understanding blah, 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 it presses. And then I provide the link so that the chat can access to the PDF of the Alphabet's annual report. How can it upload the annual report onto the archive? So I go to the AI drive and I upload the AI drive. I upload the annual report to the AI drive, and then I copy the URL that I got automatically to the chat. Okay, I copy this, and I go back and I paste it on here. And then it's kind of try to find the word mission and visions in that document and try to analyze those writings and summarize it in this paragraph. And it's my job to actually go back to the original PDF and to make sure that something that the ChatGPT wrote is not just imagining. And I found out that it's quite accurate. So I'm very happy. Then I will copy this text to another Word document because I already got the first information that the chat asks out of the 3 requests. So this is the first request. I am very happy about it. Next request, I also doing the same thing. I cut and paste the second request and ask another conversation with AI PDF to grab, to fetch the information. And then I get another chunk of the text, which is kind of accurate. And then I got the third chunks of the requests. I'm very happy about it. And then I copy the whole thing and go back to the original conversations. And then I'm so happy that, okay, I get what you asked me to complete. These 3 requests already have the information that you need. So I just copy and paste. And then the chat also, okay, I already got the thing that I need. So it writes about, okay, based on what I wrote, what I gave, the vision missions is like this. It's kind of summarize what I said, I gave. So the next step in the communication plan is to define goal and objective. Is that cool? Step by step. And then I just copy and paste this and paste onto this request. And then it provide me with the goals and objective. Wow. And it's write quite a long words. That is not my style yet. I kind of would like it to be only maximum 3 goals. Only 3 goals, already good enough. So it condensed the maybe 5-7 goals into 3 goals, and I would like each goal has its objective. So it's right. Goal number 1, objective 1.1, objective 1.2, and objective 1.3, like this. And you can see that these objectives are smart. Can you tell me why these objectives are smart objectives and goals based on what you learned from last week exercise? Because they are smart, because they are smart, pure, and clean. Okay. As for smart, in particular, smart means specific, measurable, achievable, R, realistic, and T, timely. Okay, you need to have got a timely kind of thing. And here you can see very measurable, timely, and you know how to measure it. Very nice. And if you did not achieve to this level, you should not satisfy with the ChatGPT answer. You have to make sure that ChatGPT gives you that smart objective. But luckily, the ChatGPT read my book, so it know how to write instantly. Is that cool? Are you going to read the book? No, because the chat already read. Oh, please. Okay, you can go back to check if the chat kind of correct or not. But more or less, now you can feel that you are, I think at the moment, many people feel kind of relieved that you have got another student as a companion for your learning curve. You will not left alone because ChatGPT will help you in every single step of this communication plan writing. I'm sorry, what is your name again? James. James, what did you see and what do you feel? Please.
Smart.
Oh yes, who's smart? Chat smart.
Chat is smart.
Chat is smart.
Chat save a lot of time for reading the annual report or reading the technical.
Yes, yes. It saves you a lot of time, right? Yes, you're right. Okay. And how are you going to apply this into your project?
First, let ChatGPT help me to define a guideline, and I will check it and put my thoughts into that, like refix it, or like ChatGPT always do the first step.
Ah, right. So you will let the ChatGPT do it with you, right? Incorporate into your working process. Okay, good. But what you want, you have to set the goal in your mind, and you have to also set the standard of the response that's kind of qualified to your mind first. Otherwise, it's going to be random. Right. Okay, very good. And what about you?
I just have a question. How can you justify the number that's suggesting like 25%? Why is 25%?
Yes, you are right. It's quite problematic. Why this target gets set? You are right. Yes, you are right. Because maybe we have to also have the baseline for the existing awareness first, and then realistically we have to also see how the increase of the awareness usually gets improved for a certain length of time. And if we set a time frame as 12 months, but average increase of the what you call maybe awareness with this amount of budget is usually get only by maybe 5%. Setting it at 20% might be unrealistic. But maybe if you would like to make something unrealistic to be more possible, maybe the message and the tactic that you are about to use in a later sections that you are going to write about must be very, very challenging, maybe very innovative, and it's going to break all the ground, all the industry standards, something like that. But the number here set is to make sure that the goal of the company is achieved. No matter what standard it's kind of like, unless you get this 20%, if you don't get this 20%, nothing, it's not, no, the change will doesn't matter. It has to have at least 20% based on the logic, not based on realistic. Do you know how the chat kind of getting the number?
From which is split it.
Yeah.
So like it works with a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
And then mostly we get the average number from the industry standard. But I think like because it's hard to justify, right? It's have to depends on the goal, and it's have to, if you want to set a goal, it have to be internal and external. Internal here is like, okay, how do you know that goal, if you achieve like 10%, it's good enough for the company performance. And then we say very external that okay, the industry standard right now is 25%. If you reach 25%, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does it mean that it's good for your company or not? Or does it mean that you are doing a good job or not? So I think it's quite problematic.
Yes.
When you see this type like number when there's a lot of like follow-up question, you cannot justify the number, and it actually give you a wrong impression.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's yes, you need the prior research about this kind of metrics before. Yes, yes, correct. Otherwise, it's going to be problematic about this number, how this number gets set at the first place. Am I right, James? Yeah, okay, and John as well. And this is the way that the goal is written. And then I kind of write the word, let's proceed with the next steps in the strategy communication plan based on the knowledge in the textbook. Oh, sorry, what? Okay, thank you. Okay, I wrote, I typed, let's proceed with the next step in the strategic communication plan based on the knowledge in the textbook, and specifically how to write a target public section, and please write one for me. And it's kind of read the textbook for me, and then it's kind of analyze the alphabet target public sections. It should have got this kind of publics to write about, like customer, employee, investor, regulators, general publics, communities, and suppliers and business partner. So this cover market and non-market environments, key player. And then, okay, it asks me, would you like to proceed with the next section, such as crafting messages or choosing communication strategy? I just say yes. And then I kind of see those answer, but I'm not so satisfied much. So I just take a look at it, and I think that I will write it later on, because but at least I get some rough idea what it should be right about when I have got more time. And in the implementation sections, I also asked it to write about the timeline in each communication strategy. And then the chat also helped me write the Gantt chart, but the Gantt chart like this is still too broad, because I would like it to narrow down into, okay, for example, to have the online platform for feedback. I want to know when I should start setting up platform, and when I should get the other detail as well. But in the what you call, in the initial text, it show me more detail like this. You have to research, you have to launch, you have to monitor, you have to evaluate, and then the chat maybe not give me as detailed Gantt chart as I like. So maybe I have to tell it more about, okay, you have to give me more details in each single step. Anyway, so you can see that you can interact with the chat, and Chulalongkorn University actually encourage you to learn how to use the ChatGPT and other generative AI as well. Okay, you don't have to use it in kind of secret. You have to use it openly, and also tell me what new thing that you found, and what are the experience, or some problematics that you think it might arise when you interact with the ChatGPT. So we will learn together, because when I was a student, I did have a chance to get this tool, lecture or train. So we are trained more or less at the same time. I might be a little bit more advanced than you are, maybe 1 week or maybe a few days. So I'm not that more experienced than you are. So my role is to allow you to teach me. Okay, good. So let's talk about the company that you are that in your mind right now, so that we can search for its annual report together and read the annual report by human speed together. And later on, in your spare time, you are allowed to use the ChatGPT and AI PDF to help you with. But at the moment, we will do it at human speed. Okay, what is in your mind right now? What company is in your mind right now? Maybe I don't know the company. Maybe you can type the name of the company in the line group, in our line group.
Does it have to be a company or organization?
It can be an organization as well, as long as you can access to its annual report. Good. Sometimes the non-profit organization also provide the annual report, especially for the non-profit organization that get the grants from the government, because it has to really declare how the organization use the budget. Okay, let's take some time for telling me what company, corporate, organizations that you think that you are going to write a strategy communication plan for. Sarah, you have got a migraine, and do you have got a chance to think about the company?
Yes, Ajahn. Right now I could think of Traveloka.
Traveloka. Okay, good. Search for Traveloka annual report in the Google. Okay, and maybe you can tell me if you can find its annual report or not. And maybe the Traveloka use other name for its official name.
I can change, it's okay, I'm the second.
Tesla, that's good.
Search and it's this, it's any next one.
What's the next?
Yes, especially for the US company in the SEC, it will always provide to actually provide reference account. 10K, 10K is the actually number. Not many.
Not like the reason.
It's good. Okay, that's right. You can also someone. You can do that. My thing is copy the text and paste it in the Word document, same as the maybe it use other names. Probably I'm not so sure. Like Google, it use alphabets. Who knows? It's going to be out there at Google. That's not good communication. Student, we will appreciate that communication at all. But no problem. You can just read the publication interest, like mission, visions, and bricks. Because we would like to lead the company to that mission. And at the same time, you want the company to be safe. Those things.
Cuma mesti itu mesti ada investment. Dia beli
The company it's just okay, that's good. That's good. Nice, nice. Yes, yeah. There is next. Nice, nice. At least you should have one. Can be your target.
I think it was. Yeah, this is also the 2030. So the 831 didn't come. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it's actually necessary to do this like The shares, right?
Although it's quite often important, but in terms of relevance to the communication, much less as communication person. Just reach loudly or recommendation.
Yeah, that's 413 visuals.
Okay, how are you, Sarah? In the class, many people already got the company annual report, and they are kind of more or less reading
Yes,
them.
Ajahn, also reading about Traveloka, and I found out that in 2021 they actually they had this initially they planned to be a travel-based, travel-focused company, but then they expand to be logistic, food delivery, but then it shut down because of some reasons. And in 2022 they had some loss. Wait, let me read again.
Okay,
So
that's good.
Traveloka posts about 75% increase in revenue, but cuts loss by 29% in 2022. That's pretty much it about Traveloka. So yeah, they actually had increase in revenue and cut loss by 29% in 2022.
Okay, good. So there are some visions that the company would like to be in the future, and there are some hinders that the company get into its path to its visions. They have to maybe change its direction a bit, and also there are some risks in their company growth as well. Okay, that's good. That's good, Sarah. You are in the right direction.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Thank you. Now, I think when you read the annual reports as a communication student, not all the pages in the annual report interest you, especially those related to budgeting. So you are not required to read those parts. At the moment, as you can see from the chat, required to write the strategic communication plan. It just would like to know the company vision, mission, right? So logically, I would like you guys to really read the vision, mission, and value of the company. This part is very important. And also you have to read the parts that writes about the risks analysis. Okay, this part is very important. And again, some students like Peach would say that, Ajahn, even their parts are still too long to read. It is too much. It covers maybe more than 10 pages. Okay, that makes sense because you have got a lot of things to do. So I would suggest that you just cut and paste those texts onto the Microsoft Word and save it as PDF. By doing this, the chat also don't have to analyze the financial parts, the shareholder parts of those whole annual reports. It will also just focus on the things that it needs, as like you are. Right. Okay, that's good. Just cut and paste, please, onto the Word and save it as PDF. Is that a good step by step? And in some annual report, apart from the risk analysis, the report might tell us about key issues as well, but not many annual report will write about that part because it is not required by the stock market. What requires are risk analysis. And it's also important for the communication consultants to really understand the business that you are writing the communication plan for. You have to understand the nature of its business. Apart from the direction, you have to know the nature of business. For example, the nature of the business is consumer. The nature of the business is government to government kind of business, or it is the B2B, the business to business. So this kind of nature you have to understand so that you can analyze the issues better and you can use the communication strategy and tactic better. If you don't know anything about the business, how the company get the money from, that is not a good job. Really, you have to understand that at least. So maybe it's also a good idea if you find information about a business or the products that the company is operating in the annual report. It's also a good idea to cut and paste into the word processor as well. Have you done that? I assume that, okay, you have done that. And with no problem, because it's not that difficult. Just take time. I will talk about more on this kind of thing. Ajahn, there are so many issues in the annual reports. It talk about just like Sarah said, it talk about the loss of profits. It talks about the regulation. It talks about the company would like to explore new territory, new business, new market expansion. So all of these things are issues, Ajahn. There are so many issues in just a few minutes read. How are we going to cover all the issues? That is impossible for the strategy communication planner to cover all the issues in one plan. So basically, we will write about one strategic issue that you are very, very capable of helping the company out. Okay, so it means that you have to understand your strengths, weaknesses, and now the company problem is our opportunity that we can use our strength in that environment, right? So you have to analyze yourself. What are you good at? In the past, for example, if you have got the experience in consumer behavior, the course that you have got a very good grade at, surprisingly. So you have to note down that I'm Tim, who has got grade A in communication behavior with a background of communication management. My favorite course are this, and that. Okay, this is your background.
right in the Microsoft Word. And also my career aspiration is to work in a global company with a lot of cultures, multinationals, environment, blah, blah, blah. This is my aspiration. And my personal interest is in traveling in mountains, over beaches. So you write about yourself, what you want and what you have. Okay. And this will be something that help you to select one particular issues to work with. Not all the issues, only one particular issues to work with. This is what we call prioritizing the issue. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, right. Please write a little about it. And I am a little bit surprised as well when I asked the ChatGPT to make a persona of our MA student. I write, please write the description of a student in a Master of Arts in Strategic Communication Management program, international program that offered by Faculty of Communication Arts, Chulalongkorn University, Bangkok, Thailand, using your best knowledge and logic. And it just writes the profile that look very nice, very realistic. It reads, the name of the person is Haraf Patel, nationality India. And the academic background, very similar to many of you here. And the professional experiences, very similar to many of you here as well. You work for 2 years, right? Some people here. And the reason for choosing Chulalongkorn University, because you would like to have got the knowledge and applications and focusing on the ASEAN region. Otherwise, you will go to European somewhere like that. And then the academic interest, you like digital communication strategy, you like cross-cultural consumer behavior. Maybe the chat already know what we offer in the program, probably. And they also know that the basics of the fundamental idea of the strategy communications are public relations and advertising field of study. So it has got a very relevant academic interest here. The language skill, English and Hindi. And you are guys also currently learning Thai. Maybe the chat keep listening to what we said in the class last week. Yes. And he would like to immerse to the local culture, like many of you are, and career aspiration. He would like to work in ASEAN and Middle East regions. And personal qualities like critical thinking skill, global communications, blah, 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 blah. Okay, if you would like to copy the profile, you can do that and adjust for yourself. Very nice, very nice. You can adjust some words that match with you guys. Ajahn, the ChatGPT getting creepy more and more. Okay, Thai Airway, very nice. World Vision, very nice. Mhm. Okay, very good. Okay, and let's take a look at the conversation that I had with the chat. When after I asked the chat to fetch the information for that relevant to the vision missions of the alphabet. So when I happy with that, very nice. So I asked it to identify key issues. So it identified the key issues, quite a lot of issues. Oh my God, that is a lot of issues. We cannot handle all the issues all at once, all at the same time. That's impossible in one plan. And that is not going to be a focused plan. We need a very focused plan. So I based on this student profile, please help select key issues for the student to write the strategy communication plan for the alphabet. Actually, I should write, please help select one issue for this student. Otherwise, he will have to handle 5 issues at the same time. That is not going to be a fun moment for the student. So based on this profile, the ChatGPT kind of suggests that he should select these issues, not the product quality assurance, but the student choose focus on the issues of global market cultural sensitivities of the alphabet. How alphabet manage these issues at the global level, how the alphabet going to handle the communications and consumer behavior, or how the alphabet is going to emerge technology communications and deal with the regulatory challenges and public relations. And then I found out that is still a lot. So I have to ask them follow-up question that please select one best suited so he will be able to focus more. So the only one issue is that the chat select is my mock-up student should select the issues of digital communication and consumer behavior. And I said, okay, good, thank you. So please write about how we are going to set the goal for this particular issue. To set the goal for this particular issue is we have to handle with the consumer. Consumer have to understand that we are the company that has got a very good communications, digital communications, and suit its user lifestyle. And at the same time, respect their privacy and copyrights. And for the regulators, they have to understand that we will work with the regulator, not against the regulator. We try very hard to comply and be a good partner. So this kind of things is going to be our message that is going to send out for these key publics. And for the suppliers like application writer or developer, we are their partner, not their regulator. We expect them to also grow, because if the partner grow, the Alphabet will also grow its business. But anyway, the supplier have to live up to the standard. Don't infringe any copyrights and sell it on our platform. So this is kind of thing that we have to make clear. Is that cool, John?
I think it's the right step, but my question is like, I mean, what's the goal of this activity unit to because it's have a step already, right? So and we also have the prompts. So from like practitioner perspective, like what is the goal of this?
Okay, the goal of this activity is to let the student know that you are get assisted by the ChatGPT, right? And to get a logical plan is still something that you have to manage with, because you cannot just randomly work with any issues. You have to make sure that you understand the issues. If the chat give us the issues that not relevant to your interest, you have to know that you have the rights to say that, no, that is not my interest. My interest is this. Please help me. Just help me, not direct me. Please help me select the one that suits for me.
Is it because of your prompts, or I think this it's actually because of the question here. Because mostly if you have the right prompts, it's gonna produce quite precise information, right? And furthermore, like from your experience and like because we did a lot of things like this, from your experience, what's the most challenging thing?
Most challenging thing,
Like
yeah.
when you query your prompts.
Most challenging thing is getting the right prompt. Yes, yes. And you have to try a lot of time until you get the right one. So you have to really use your experience by learning as well. But at the end of the day, I think you will be more capable than your peer who don't know how to use these tools. If you have got the same level of analytical skill, one do not have the tool and the other have the tool. I think the one that will have the tool and know how to use it will be very competitive. Have got will be very advantage. We have a lot of advantage. So next week, maybe we will discuss about how you find the ChatGPT performance along the way. Different people, I am so sure that you experience different things. There is no one prompt that will achieve the same thing. Although we give the same prompt, again, we will get the different thing. But at least you experience how to make it come back to your way. And in the textbook, I also provide some examples of the finished work from the student in previous batches. So you can have more or less the idea what the expectation is about. But you have to be aware that those examples are made when there is no ChatGPT. But the structure more or less the same. And you have to also make sure that when you already select an issues and then you proceed on writing about the target that you will talk to solve those issues. You have to make sure that it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, you have to know that it doesn't make sense. You have to tell the chat that that is not the right public. Okay, you have to know what is going to look like. It helps you write, but you also have to monitor what it write. And you also have to check if it writes accurately or not. That's why we need the actual annual report so that you can go back and check anytime you need. Otherwise, everything will come from thin air or just imagination. Okay, good. Let's talk a bit. Okay, Bob. Okay, what did you find, or what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, you find the risks of the apple. It writes about its own risks, right? What are the risks that it writes about?
Macro and industrial risks.
Macro and micro.
The global market.
The global market.
Part of the company products and services.
Right. Yes, there are so many risks, a lot of risks, right? What risks interest you the most?
Maybe the first one. Industry is
Industry risks. Okay. Well, what is this about?
based on this, actually the original economy. Of the company business.
Right. One of this. And can you share with me why you interested in industrial risks over other type of risks? Does it based on your background or in aspiration or not?
No, but it was because I've never think about investing risks. So I want to
All right. Okay, maybe you have got some inspiration or aspiration to work in industrial kind of context rather than consumer or customer products. So you would like to understand the industrial environment more in the future, and you might find that it might be useful for you in the future. That's why you get interested in this kind of thing. Good. So whatever you choose, you guys, you should have got some idea why you choose this one. It's based from your background for your future, or both. Very nice. And what about you, Fiona? Okay.
I want to analyze and well, and I see their vision and mission already, and their goal is to be a leading company with excellence in content creation, locally and globally.
Right, Grammy would like to be not only local company, but it's also want to be the global entertainment company as well. Very nice.
And right now, their businesses is in music business, home shopping business, and movie business. But I really want to search more about their the business in their entertainment industry, such as the music and the movies.
Okay, very nice. Okay, in this case, so far, so good. Fiona, what interests you most? What issues that the company would interest you most? So that you would like to write a strategic communication plan for that kind of thing. So far.
Probably the Y series. Because
Why? The CD, yeah.
GMM is popular of making one of it, and they are right now worldwide popular. And I think it would be a great thing to learn and make like a strategy of how they market the series to be globally.
Right. Okay. Very nice. Because to market the series locally and regionally, ASEAN markets is already achieved. So you would like to write the strategic communication plan for the GNM to be able or better market the series to at the global level. Very nice. Very nice. And this is going to make the company prosper for at least 10 years from now. And the signal might not be a good signal, might not be able to see in 3 or 2 years, but the company has to invest in that arena so that it can get a very big profit in the next 10 years. But it has to start now. Yeah, that is very long-term plan. I like that very much. To me, I think the chat will, I expect the chat will tell you that you have to be partner with the global entertainment distributor. This is very strategic partner. You have to start talking to them. And then this is the tactics and communication strategy. And this is the message. And this is the timeline. Okay, so this is going to be challenging and interesting as well. Even GMM, I'm not so sure that it has one yet, the plan. Okay, nice. Good. And what about you, Jan? Okay, what are you looking at right now? Jane, not Jan.
So they have separate art for the fashion line, the cosmetic line, and the label, which she not for like fantasy,
Yeah, they're selling quite a wide variety of products. Luxury, whiskey, alcoholic drinks, and cosmetics, items, apparel, outfits, a lot of things.
Like in my mind, those brand like Louis Vuitton themselves have higher price as a brand, but as fashion. But actually, the liquor line.
Liquor line.
You know,
Okay, that's cool. Liquor lines has more share in their portfolio. Wow, cool. Right. And what are the issues or what are the goals and missions that you would like to write a strategic communication plan for for the LVMH? Not answer yet. Okay, but based on your idea, what based on your idea? You don't have any idea yet. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, no problem. What about you, Tim? What are you doing?
So
Okay, yes.
and I actually I did and asked it to which it didn't ask me for any information. It just like started creating a plan, but I think it's like very right now it's a very like generalized plan. So it's not really like specific to it. Just like without certain it's also like one of the challenges. In situational analysis, it says like limited global awareness, which is true. Like do compares categories basically kind of it only applies to the I think that would be one thing to try.
Right. Right. And did you give the chat to learn about Duke Air mission visions? You didn't ask for anything.
It just started creating everything on itself.
All right. Okay. Yes, chat a bit more so that you get the structure right. Mhm. And to Dokumi, what are you doing? Can you share with us? I'm so sure that you are doing so cool thing right now. Your face looking very, very serious. You might have something really, really insightful. Can you share with us?
It's very big company, and I found that it just the company that like for example, they made up a mass animation group like about this and stronger because that the company grow very well and the price of the stock increase, but increase very much. However, in this report, it is said that in 2024, during will revenue, revenue will increase. So, as this is the biggest
So what the company say to solve this problem
they didn't mention it.
in the annual report? They did not mention.
Yeah, they just say the revenue will decrease.
Okay. So the revenue is decreasing and the company did not say anything about it. That is, to me, I think it's kind of very alarming for the investor. Is the company listed in the stock market? Because it's listed in the stock market. So maybe you can search in the stock market archive.
They said there's another report to explain about the situation.
Okay, explain the situations, and probably it will also write about the solution to these problems. And if you think, what is your background? What issues that interest you most while you reading through these annual reports? What issues interest you most for now? You can change later, just for now. Maybe the revenue, maybe? Yeah,
I
okay.
like this because I like so many animation and movies, so that's why I purchased in this company and want to analyze this company.
Very good, very good. And the issues that the company is facing is that concern you the most from what you just said. It's getting less profits, right? And in general, I think as the communicator for the company, you have to strategically really make sure that the investor not taking their stock out yet. Otherwise, it will be very likely that the company will get collapsed tomorrow. If this kind of report have released, next day half price. Right, so you have to write the very urgent list that the company, how are you going to gain trust from the investor is the key issue right now. Right, so maybe you have to talk about the new projects, the the new market extension, you have to talk about the assets that the company will be very benefits in 5 years or next years, because this kind of asset will be popular among the consumer, and it gets more price than today. So this kind of message has to be released now. Otherwise, tomorrow your stock will get half price. So this is the strategic communication for this crisis. Do you understand, Takumi? Yeah. Okay, good. But I think in the report, if we write more about the long-term plan, how to increase the company revenue in the long term, maybe you have to write about it and make it more valuable in the perspective of the investor. So in this case, probably the target public for now is the investor, and maybe the stock market regulator as well, because if the stock market regulator committee kind of not so sure about this company, it will keep very close eye on your company and your account. That is going to make more troubles for your back office. Okay, so you have to go to have lunch with the regulator more often, so that they will be kind of more certain about your operation. Make sense? Yes. Okay, good. What about you, Sarina?
Yeah.
Muji?
About the environment, the society.
That is their value. Yeah, they talk a lot of things about this kind of value, this kind of culture in the company, in the products, creations. Okay, and do you think that this kind of value is going to sustain next 10 years, or is it going to get saturated and other competitors also have got this kind of values and take their market share from you?
I think the market will become more saturated, but I think their brand image is very clear, and I think they're currently leading. I think they'll be fine.
Okay, okay. And did the company talk anything about closing down some outlets?
From what I saw just now, it seems like they want to open even more. So reach the community.
Oh, right. Okay, good, good. So, if the company have got this kind of vision, so as the communicators, do you find any issue that you can help the company to make sure that the visions and values like this is going to be sustained for a very long time? Can you think about any tactics or strategies?
Yeah.
No problems. And I will act as the ChatGPT for you. Okay, thank you. Sarina, your idea is very good by selecting this Muji, because this Muji is going to help our world to be more sustainable in environmentally and culturally concerned. To create the strategy communication plan to handle this, to make sure that this trend, this value is to sustain for a long time, I would suggest that this is very ChatGPT kind of style of writing. Okay, I would suggest that maybe you have to create the trends in the new market and the existing market that environmental is the priority in the consumer markets. Okay, and these are the tactics by advertising and public relations and celebrities, endorsements, influencers. When you have got new products and they have to talk about this value. And at the same time, you have to also make sure that the regulator drives the standards of the products to sell to the markets, so that the competitor who have got less standards than you are will get rid of and will not take the market share from you. For example, you have to targeting the competitors that claim to be environmental friendly, but they are not. In reality, you have to say this. You have to take these cases to the regulators and ask the regulator to actually monitor these fake greenwashing products. And you also have to sponsor some group of citizens that will help you monitor the fake greenwashing products and celebrate the green products on you instead of you, because they will be kind of third parties. Yeah, that will speak with more credible message. And these are just some examples that you can do. You can explore more for other challenging and effective approaches. Please discuss with me more next time. We are expecting to hear it, come back to discuss with you. Do you want anything from me as a ChatGPT? Chat with him, something like that. And what do you feel right now?
I feel.
Yes?
I feel. Okay.
You feel okay, right? Okay, so that's good. That's good because many times the student, when it comes to week 3, they're so concerned about the capstone project. Because the capstone project asks you to write about the strategic communication plan, and so far you don't have any idea what to write about and how to write it step by step. Please tell me how to do that. So that's why week 3 like this, this year I introduced you to ChatGPT. So you have got no problem about writing at all. Writing is not the problem. The problem is what to write about, what issues that you have to select that suit you the most. That is the problem, not about the grammar, not about the spelling. Now you understand that, right? So you have to use the logical thinking. Okay, we will, do you have got anything for me to clarify further? No? So far, so good. So I think we will do some exercises, activities before we go back home and take some sleep. Okay, week 3, activity 1 and 2 in the first half of the sessions and 1 activity for the second half. So let's check the activity 1, the feedback box. So far, I think many of you have made some compliments to your friends' work very nicely. Thank you very much for helping me actually checking and giving feedback to your friends. That's very kind of you guys, really. But I would like to enhance your ability, giving feedback ability further, because when you are the mid-level employees of the company, you have got some junior employee that expect your feedbacks, and I think those junior level employees not only want to have the feedback that 100% compliment, but they would like to get the positive, constructive feedback as well. Not only just compliment just for feeling good. Right. Okay. So let's do this exercise together. I think many of you can help me read these instructions, because otherwise, for the whole sessions, I'm going to be the one who talks, and then it's not going to be very nice. So I would like you to also some voice as well in the session. Can Sarah is not very good right now, but not very well. So I will ask someone to help Sarah in terms of reading the instructions. We will take turn reading. Okay, how I'm going to. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Okay, maybe John. Okay, you are very nice. All the time. You don't need the microphone. Okay, Ken. Okay, can you please receive feedback on a project, please?
Yeah, sure. So I think receiving feedback on project idea is never easy. In a creative work, feedback is how we learn and grow as artists. It's also part of on-time professional areas. We must therefore learn how to give receive feedback. Now you might not receive feedback in a constructive manner, but not all managers or clients have developed the skill. Be patient with them. Aim to extract all the constructive aspects of the feedback. There are different types of feedback, and not all are helpful. Some can even shake your confidence and make you question yourself unnecessarily. In order to effectively learn from feedback, you must be able to identify and evaluate the feedback received. When criticism is given, it can often damage a person's self-confidence and cannot constructively learn something from the confidence. At the end of this activity, we will briefly talk about receiving feedback personally.
Okay, thank you very much. And I would like to have one. Okay, good one. Can you read the instructions so that your friend can do the activity correctly? Okay, loud and clear.
You have just pitched your team's idea for a marketing campaign to the client. The following is a list of the feedback that you and your team have received. First one, the idea you pitched is not good and cannot be used. I like the main idea, but I would like to change a few minor things. The idea was perfect and does not need to change. Finally, I would recommend changing the color scheme.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Juan. And now we see that the feedback has got 4 sentences, and each sentences give you different feeling. Right, and different requirement to change. Okay, so let's take a look at this matrix. The matrix have got advice, compliment, criticism, suggestion. So please tell me what box the first feedback fits for. Criticism, because they both negative. Right. Okay. Very good. Okay. Please note down. Okay. They both negative. Maybe. Okay. I will. Okay. Good. I will let you have got some time for thinking. Please analyze the next feedbacks. The next feedback. I like the main idea. Okay, this is compliments. And then but I would like to change a few minor things. So it is the
Advice.
advice. Okay, very good. The idea was perfect and do not need to change. Compliment. Okay, good. I would recommend changing the color scheme. Okay, suggestions. Very good. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Okay, this is the whole activity. This is quite easy for you guys. Okay, and this is the answer key. Please check. Kun Khan is giving us the answer key. Okay, this is, I like the main idea, but I would like to change a few things. Advice, is that correct answer that you get?
Yeah.
Yes, all correct. Very nice. So by learning these things, okay, I'm not so sure. What did you learn? Okay, John. Okay, what did you learn from this activity? Have you experienced your boss feedbacks and your boss feedbacks most of the time fall into what type of feedback? You don't need the
So
microphone.
I think I experience this quite often, not from work, but I mean, it's from different, daily activity. And I think most of the feedback people have a tendency to fall into, like see your negative side first, because it's easy to see, right? But I think I'm quite lucky because I think I usually receive very constructive feedback. So it's good to come from the fourth quarter by the suggestion. So it's actually, I think for me, suggestion is even like compliment is not good as suggestion, because suggestion actually give you actionable follow-ups. Like compliment, they will say nice, but we don't know what is the nice part, and usually they just answer for the sake of answering. So I think suggestion will give people a little bit more actionable items to follow up. So personally, I think suggestion is the best. So I actually have a suggestion. I would recommend that we not just read the instruction, because like everyone in class can read and read. So I think like next activity, I would suggest that we will like jump into the discussion directly.
Okay, so let the student reading on it their own.
Yes.
Don't have to read out loud.
Yes.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Okay. Yes.
So what's the difference between an advice and a suggestion? They seem to be doing the same, like, they seem to be doing more or less the same thing for both
Yes.
instances.
This is
So we
good.
have to change. So like, why are they separate?
Right. They separate because if it put it like suggestions, the feedback receiver doesn't have to change if they don't want to. But if it is advice, it means that you have to change. More stronger, more assertive. If you are a boss, maybe you can use advice type of feedback. But if you are their peer or their colleague, maybe it is a better suggestion. It's better to give suggestion. Is that not true? Okay, good. Thank you. Next, please. Next activity. Next activity. Okay, the yes and no rule. Okay, yes and no rule. Sometimes, as the mid-level management, maybe you have to assign someone to do something. And there are so many people, not many people, there may be a few people in your department, and you have to select the right person for the right jobs. And the strategic thinking is very important now because you have to really understand the capability of each person. And you also have to understand what the nature of the task is and what performance really need to complete those tasks. So in this case, I will leave you about 2 minutes for you to read the instructions and the introductions, and let's compare your answer with your neighbor. And this is quite complex and a little bit sure that there will be slightly different answer from each of the students' answer.
But I think for like the working with you that fire, I think the fire for qualified, I think new to what that market yes. For the works for the client. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm. But like, I think he has not the
Yeah, so that's.
So, he's not, but he's qualified to go to international. We're sharing.
I just want to change the one that. Let's sure, that's that.
And we.
Yeah, no, I forget. Yes, true. It's one of the supply chain.
Nice. Okay, so let's take a look. If you get the same answer as your friend or not, and if not, please discuss why. And in a few minutes, okay, and now you will see the answer. This is from the Tilly. Okay, and next, maybe you can show the answer key to the student now. No problem at all. It seems that they are very fast.
one of us not good.
Okay, so can anyone help me tell your friends about what did we do and what did you feel? What did you feel from this activity? Yes, please, Fiona.
I think from this activity, if we are like performing a team or something like, we can choose like, how exactly her part is or how to make it more efficient and it works well. with
Yes,
the team also.
yes,
So we put the right person in the right thing.
yes, correct. Yes, correct. Yes, and can we use these techniques? Yes and no rule. Very simple questions. Very simple kind of answer like this to other contexts. Can anyone help us apply this kind of technique to other contexts?
Somehow we can, but we must know that there will be like another factor except just for a simple yes or no. So I think like for other things, maybe something is not this simple. So
Something.
you cannot choose it by yes or no.
Okay, okay, understood. But many of the case, yes and no rule can apply unless it is very, very complex things. To me, I think when you select the strategy or tactics to some campaign or some communication talks, maybe you can also set the rule and the persons in your team have to answer yes or no to these two questions. For example, is this tactics controllable or not? Because it's very important. If we cannot control our tactics, the message will get out of our hand. It's going to create a big fire, backfire later. Is this tactic controllable or not? Maybe another important question is, is it effective? Well, if both answer are no, or either of one are no, it's not a good tactic to select. And the tactic that get the yes for the both questions is the tactic that we should consider. Can you imagine the situations that we need the tactic that controllable and effective only? Because it's very important, very sensitive. In what case that we need that tactic?
Maybe it's a very serious situation,
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
So let's say, like the example would be the football team, the Thai football team, the small one, traveling, Chiang team.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I think there's a yes or no question that I think the coach did very well when he managed to tell the team that they need to meditate during that time to less consume the energy and to stay there. So I think like if life and death situation, yes and no, right? But I think it's have to depend on the goal.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
like
Depend on the context.
Yeah.
Yes. We need to have only correct answer. No room for error.
Yeah.
We will use this rule. Yes or no. Okay. For example, in the context of communications, maybe we have to communicate about our company is going to close in a week, and we have to lay out thousands of people. So can we just let the influencer talk about it? No, because we cannot control and it is not effective, it's not credible. So that tactic is never ever used. Get out of the list. So what about press release? Can we control the press release? No, yes, no, yes, depends, right? So might not a good tactic. Is it effective? Not so sure. The press release will get read and this and really broadcast. What about the live broadcast from the CEO? Is this controllable?
Yeah.
Yes. Is it effective?
Maybe
Maybe if our CEO very good speaker.
if it's not done. Yeah.
Yes, if he has been trained quite a lot in for that. Yes, he can. Or maybe spokesperson.
Yes.
Yes, maybe the spokesperson. Live broadcast about this company situation that can be controllable and effective because it's very credible. Through what channel that we can control again? Our own channel, like our Facebook account or the company live broadcast website, blah, blah, blah. This is kind of controllable. So because this is live and date, right? Because whatever companies say in this period of time might get some lawsuit later on if we talk incorrectly. And it will take longer time to handle those lawsuits. So it's very sensitive. So sometimes you have to be very precise about the selections of things. When you need that, when you in that situation, please try to remember using the tactics that yes, no rule. Do you like that? Okay, thank you very much. And let's take a break for our 5 minutes time, 10 minute time for refreshment and come back. And we can discuss later on if you like. And we will finish the activity 3, the choice overload. Thank you. Những ngày mau nha. What about today? It's not as lively as earlier.
So actually, if we're studying from videos, one of the classes just like the application. Right? Yes. Like because apparently like the typical or like real life situation. Right? And most of the experiences we learned the videos.
And don't really video or the textbook or very last sessions.
Sure. I think the last one that we hear is Marcus is good at it, that's not qualified from us. Because
Let's check. Marcus. Marcus, he has a degree in graphic design and handle
and always comes up with the benefits like however everyone has not handled client in the past. So at first I was thinking that for working with the client and running meetings, I mean like he's qualified people he can handle people, but he's not good at it because he never handled it.
And the top is developing the software application. Or if he hasn't worked with client before, he should not work and working with client or running the meeting. Maybe he the screen apps.
Because I thought like probably from like so I was like maybe from the CBC usually we see person at first time at his or her CV, right? But he write something like that. And I thought like if he we can check the list if he is like he say that he's good at handle people, but we don't know for sure that because he never actually we don't actually know that how he handle people, so he's not might not good at it.
Right. He can handle people very well, but he has not handled client really well. Handled client or people might have got very specific. It's better not when we have a gender choice.
So yes on
He might do that this task, but from the past, he never do that. We will only allow the person who has got experience in the so we will only see the person who get all yes to be safe. And much safer choice. We must create more questions.
oh yeah, it has to be more specific.
Yeah, it's like a model.
It's not clear.
That's why I'm so pretty. But I just think it's
It's still not very fast at getting these able. I did some longer time. I take longer time. Because when I think I have to make in energy.
If you think too much, it's like harder. So like the first thing, oh okay, this like sometimes like the answer is not quite different from one another. And if we think about it more, we will might get more confused. So it's better to just not do it right away.
First, impression is the right impression.
But I think it also depends on the person. Maybe like maybe you are more like you know like like thinking a lot about something like you cannot make a
Decision right away.
Yeah. Are you like that too?
Yes, especially for the important things like answering, making answers with students. You can see that I slowly talking and try to make myself as clear as possible.
So it's different per person. So for maybe for both I also didn't touch it on the topic.
You guys, yeah. People need some break between.
Yeah, yeah. I don't, she's good. I really like
Yeah, this is.
Okay, thank you very much for coming back for the second part of the session 3. And now we are going to move on to the activity 3. But before we move on to the activity 3, during the interval, Diona asked me very good questions about Marcus. Is he also qualified to handle or working with clients and running the meeting? Because he also good at people. Why don't allow him to do running the meeting and working with clients? And answer from me to Fiona is that when we have got better choice like Sylvia, Sylvia, not Sylvia. We have to choose Sylvia. Although Marcus is good at people, and in the descriptions, he is good at people, but he has not working with client before. But now this talk is about clients, and in the past he has not handled the client before. Handle people and handle clients might be quite different, and there is another criteria that he also need a yes answer, which is from the past, has he worked with this client, the client before, and he got the answer no.
But I think like he probably talked to people,
People,
not clients.
not client.
Yeah.
Ordinary layman
Yeah. So I
person.
think it actually can contribute because he probably a person. He's not like the one who live in a cave or something, right? So probably he probably talk to people, and I think he handle people well and client also people. So I think there's no reason that he are not qualified for the job. So I think he still tick the box and can work with the client.
Yeah.
Oppose. I think
Oppose a
not
little.
opposing, but more like I'm just thinking like in a company, if you are like if your role is like in the people's division is like
Yeah.
conducting meetings and stuff. Would you ask someone who is whose job is in the graphic design to conduct meetings? I think it's like outside his job description. Maybe that's the reason why it says qualified. Like
I see what you-
technically he's not qualified. He can do it. He definitely can, but like qualified as a job role, maybe he's not really
I
qualified.
think when you, yeah, but I mean, in some case, right, sometimes the meeting is about design.
Mm.
So he should be the one who talk, not the person who in like, other department, communicating department,
Yeah,
right?
sure, yeah.
So it also have a lot of like factor affecting, the nature of the meetings.
Mm.
Right, if it's the first meeting, you make a first impression, yes, of course, not him, but it's about, more specific design, details, feedback, of course, he's the one, the best one to talk.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yes, correct. You are right.
Also, I just want to add, like, in the statement, it says like to actually run the meeting, right? So like, I get what you mean, where he can obviously, if it's about the design, he has to speak out, he has to like say something. But to be the one to actually run the whole meeting from like beginning to end, with them.
Yeah. It's just like the first thought, but actually in reality, of course, that's possible.
Yes, you're right. You are all right. And I think this is a very good interaction. And I would like to add that in some talks at the moment, we have got 3 questions for each task, right? But if the task is very, very important and we need more criteria to really screen out people or screening in people, we have to add more criteria. Like, has he have the license to do that? If the task need the license to do it, right? So we can add more criteria into that as much as we need, right? Okay, so I hope that the yes and no rule kind of open up your perspective about decision making. And next activity is also interesting. It's called the model that the choice overload, which means, okay, I will say it I will explain it in it very briefly, but you yourself have to read the whole thing. When you have to make decisions, when there are so many choices for you to choose from, it's very complicated. Very complicated. Just like when you go into the sneakers shop, sometimes you know that you want a sneaker, but there are so many types and the colors and styles and versions of the sneaker until you just get out of the sneaker shop again and not postpone the decision making on the day, right? Because it is too many choices. So the strategy of the sellers, sometimes, although they have got thousands of versions of sneakers, they just show only 10 of them so that it will not overwhelming the buyers and it will make the buyers select from that limited choice and it is more effective. Okay, this is the whole idea. And please read the instructions and the complete the tasks. And in this case, it's the vehicle, not the sneakers.
Oh, really?
That's true. Yeah. For me,
Oh,
I mean,
that makes sense.
Oh, exactly. I'm not gonna say. No, bills will be one door. I'm not sure, but. So. Yeah, yeah, so they have. And it's only kind of. So I was going for.
It's what different between trauma and trauma. I was all the stuff working there and I took my best hard and I remember. Oh, really? I mean, like, saving up money, but they didn't have money.
Yeah.
No, but the question is not.
Oh.
Whether it is. Whether it's all on you.
Yes, yeah, I know. You know, I higher. Yeah, I know, because you don't want to redraw, you said.
Yeah, you're saying, I'm not sure. Right.
I don't know why, but the people with, they like more, and they. Oh, and I said.
That's, I heard it.
Yeah, like the very, like, if you don't keep it, that's why I know. I say the, you will get cheap.
I don't know, but I heard about culture before. And it is around.
Yes, true. Actually, because it's a music. And it's a cultural thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be blessed. On the same time. Yeah. I think for kids and all that, you know, social, like, statement and statements. I was, you know, things, you know, they get you something more like aesthetic, beautiful. Yeah.
Another thing, I remember my, like, black guy car, myself, nobody's car has better, not a. I don't know, like, I heard that. Yeah, like, they have like. Keys, everything. But it's not.
So by the 18th of Thailand, we are going to remove that.
Okay, thank you very much for discussing about the selection of the car. And can anyone share us the experience about selection the car from the instructions that you get? Maybe we have got two stages, the first stage and the second stage. The first stage, you have got the whole range of selections. And the second stage, we will discuss later. Okay, when you try to select the car from the first stage, at the first stage, when you have got a whole range of the car models, what do you feel?
So I actually liked the first the first big graph because it was divided into like 3 types of cars. And then like if I didn't want to, I don't have to look at the other two, I can just look at the section one.
Yes, correct.
So-
Like if you want to look backies, so you
Right.
look at the backy columns.
And then like in the second one, when the parents gave us the certain rules that we had to follow, and it was just limited to like the first category. For me personally, it became a bit harder because I liked the car from the backies or like the trucks, but that's no longer an option. So now I have to think of like another choice because of the certain like.
Yes, because you have to make a choice out of the choice that you don't like. That's why it is hard. Right.
And I think like the type, the difficulty of the choice depends on each person and their experience.
Yes.
So as in my case, like I prefer Becky's because like I have experience with like that type of car. But like the fuel efficient ones, like which are smaller, I know nothing about. So experience, like past experience and knowledge about like the choices also plays a big part in whether it is or it is not easy.
Right. Yes. Hard and easy. It also depends on the preferences as well. When you have know the preferences among these choices, actually I don't want to choose anything from this. Cool. Right. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing the experience. Can anyone also share?
I think the requirement is like the car has drive long time and must be fuel efficient. So I will go for the taxi driver too.
A taxi driver, let other people choose for you.
Yeah.
That is another good strategy. Yes. Next. Okay, that's all.
That's all. But because for the first time, the first time I will go for the most expensive.
Yeah, because from your budget from your parents, so the maximum, right? Okay, that's good idea. Good. Thank you. And what about you guys? What the experience you got from these activities? The first and the second list, what do you feel?
For me, it's because I have no experience to buy a car and I don't know this name and I don't know the categories. So I really need someone to narrow down the options for me. Yeah, except the car, for example, if I go to the cafe and there are so many like dishes or drinks on the menu, I always want to say, do you have some recommend and consider? So ask me, oh, do you prefer like sweet or not sweet? So it also a behavior that narrows down my options. It's very like effective.
Yes, limiting. You need someone to help you limit the choices, right? And that will help. And moreover, you need some explanation for each choice as well. Okay, that's good. Okay, I think this is a very good activity, and we have covered all the key areas of the activity objectives. Thank you very much for sharing that on the discussion board as well. These activities actually talk about when people have got a lot of choices, that's hard. And when people have got too limited choice, also very hard. And look at the graph at the above one at the top of the discussion board, please. Can you show, can you show the graph at the top? Hello. Okay, here. Confusions. When you go into a store that have got very limited choice of sneakers, there are only 3 pairs. There are only 3 pairs of sneakers in this shop. Are you going to make a decision? No, because you expect to have got more choices. So the decision making is not going to happen there in that situations. And when there are too many choices, this store have got thousands of models of the sneakers. You would take 3 hours to select a pair of sneakers, and you would have got maybe a few choices that have got a very slightly different in terms of colors, and that's kind of strings at the tips of the strings, and that is going to make decision also hard, unnecessary. So the optimum number of the choice is good all the time. So how are you going to apply this kind of learning in the communication field of study? As the communication practitioners, you have to make decisions quite a lot of time, and sometimes there are quite a lot of choices for you to make a decision.
Maybe in research, like for sampling techniques, like to make certain decisions, like first of all, like which technique to use, but also like how it becomes.
Right. Like research methods. Yes. Can you name the methods that we can use to gather information from clients? From the client, from the maybe user or consumers. For example, just say the name of the techniques like focus group, survey, online survey, interview. What else? Experiments. What else? Observations. What else? Other than
I said content analysis, but that's like after, because that's like that after.
Okay. Maybe content analysis from the social media that the consumer talk among one another on the social media platform. What else? Okay, so experiments already talked about. So among these methods, and you are the person who has to make a decision what are the technique that you are going to use for your campaign formations. And then I tell you that we need to finish the research tomorrow. Oh, so focus group impossible. Interview probably, yeah. Observation, no. Content analysis on social media, possibly.
Yeah.
We will spend the whole night reading consumer platforms. Yeah, you have AI. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so maybe with these limiting factors, we can narrow down the choices to the minimum. So now we have got 3 choices: content analysis using AI assistant to come up with a theme, and telephone interview. And what else? Okay, there are only 2 options. Now we can select both of them or either one of them. And tomorrow we will talk about it with clients. That's it. So every time when you have got a lot of choices, create limiting factor so that you can make decisions. Or if you are going to offer something for your client to choose, do not forget to create the limiting factor. You cannot offer the whole range of products in your company to the client to choose from. You just select things that workable in this case for them to choose from. Otherwise, it will take them ages to make selection. Is that correct? Yes. For example, if you have got TV programs that you have been licensed to be the dealer of the time slots, you have got 100 programs, radio programs, television programs, influencer, YouTubers programs. But the client is the client who want to spend less with, and their audience is like the communities, people, rural area. So you select only the program that targeting that group of people and have reasonable kind of price range. That is going to make the decision faster. Good. Can you apply this kind of knowledge to other situations? Can anyone help? Media seller. What do you talk about? Selecting choice in collecting data. John, can you help? You all seem to have got a lot of experience in the office work.
I just have a joke by selecting your crush. So you have to process and
Crush, okay, that's part of the communicator life. Okay, you have got a lot of people to select from. So, if you have got a lot of choices like that, what is your limiting criteria?
that's all you need.
Right here and right now. Not around in 10 meters. No, not in 100 meters. No. Next week, no. Right, that's good. Otherwise, you will take the whole day selecting this kind of people. Okay, thank you very much, John. That is very practical. It's a job. It's not him. It's not him. It's a job. Everyone, please remember he's a good guy, and this is a good person who makes jokes. Thank you very much, and I hope that today what we learned is the first step in making the strategic communication plan is to select the company and read about the company vision, missions, and risks, and then make sure that the issues that you are going to write the strategic planning for that company really suit your interest, your background, and you will be happy working on that plan for the rest of the semester. And also, you should not be worried about writing. You should be worried about thinking what is suit for you and suit for the company. And we also talk about what the overload, the choice overload, and what else? The activities, choice overload, and yes and no rule, and what else? Feedback box. Okay, feedback box. We have got 4 types of feedbacks. The feedback that you will be getting the constructive approach to improve yourself is advice or suggestions. But if you are the person who are going to give advice and suggestion, you have to understand your relationship with that person. Okay, good. Anything that you would like to add? Do you have anything for me to clarify? No, okay. Thank you very much, and let's meet next time. And if you have got any questions related to the textbook, the video, the project, the plan that you have to write about, please stay so that I can interact with you. And for those who don't have anything to discuss with me, you can leave the classroom comfortably. Thank you very much for tonight. Have a good night,ครับ. You're welcome. Bye bye,ครับ. So, you want to get down put it on here?
I did a suggestion, and
Can you take the chair from me so that we can sit comfortably? And take a chair as well. Participant study will involve two primary groups of participants.
Oh, right.
in-
Where was we? So yeah, I did as you suggested and asked like him to actually give me the outline first.
Mhm.
So I did to give me the outline first and then
Mhm.
input the information like